Hi everyone, I'm Sunny, and today's pick a card is a yes or no pick a card. I have 6 piles you guys can choose from. From top to bottom, I have pile 1, 2, and 3, which is left to right. And then on the bottom side, I have pile 4, 5, and 6 from left to right. So if you need more time, you're more than welcome to pause the video and then select a pile or piles of your choice. Remember, this is a yes or no format, and if you need a refresher on the question is going to be whether your job transfer will be whether your job transfer will be the right move in this moment in time. So off to the first pile number 1. Will your job transfer be the right move right now? So you guys have the High Priestess upright, so this is a yes. So with you guys, I think that you guys are following your intuition. You're following that little inner voice, that inner light that's telling you, like, right now it's the right moment because there's nothing else that you need to learn. I guess there's no way you've progressed. Not that you're not going to progress, but it feels stagnant where you're at. Maybe you've been working a lot and you've learned all the ropes. There's nothing new and it's kind of been stagnant. There's nothing intriguing to you, and the office dynamics or the work dynamics between team members and stuff, or even between your boss and your job and your scheduling, it's just not as beneficial for you. So in this moment in time, I think you've already put those feelers out, and I think you've already selected a certain position that you've been interested in applying, and you have. So if this is you, great. This is thumbs up for you. You get the green thumbs up. This is possibly like a good start for something new and something fresh to work in. Having new problems, a whole different set of challenges and problems, is a lot more interesting than staying in the ones you're already in, because there's nothing else you need to learn. So if this is you, this is great. Or if you're learning to actually trust yourself a little bit more in your choices when it comes to pushing yourself to other dynamics, great for you, pile number 1. This is a yes for you. This is a very, very good yes. Pile number 2, you guys have a yes. This is the 6 of Swords upright. I do think you have been more, I just feel like I squashed it up in there, like here. Maybe you have that vibe when your job, you're like, I've had enough. You've possibly had a lot of mental stress in this environment, and I think or if it's not your environment, you could have been overthinking when is the right time, because you had a certain plan and maybe you didn't follow through with that plan, like word by word, and you're kind of like, oh, did I wait? Sorry. Let me drink a sip of water before I start getting all screechy. Sorry, pile number 2. So as I was saying, maybe you thought you were waiting too long when it comes to making changes, or you're like, oh, I don't need to be dealing with people like this. I'm overthinking stuff. It just feels like you might have been overthinking your decisions when it comes to how long you're going to be staying in this job. Maybe you had a 2-year plan to stick around, but you've ended up staying for like 5-6 years, and you're like, oh, I'm not really enjoying this anymore. I need a fresh new start. I need to have a lighter vibe. So I do think that you want different procedures. There's different dynamics. You had to have face-to-face conversations with people more than you needed to. A lot of customer service. Maybe you had to deal with a lot of people that were just not nice and angry, or just you had the brunt. I think that's what I'm trying to say. The brunt force of that. And you're like, okay, I don't need to be talked down to or be disrespected all the time. I think this amount of customer service is good enough for experience, but it's not what I want. So I do think that overall, pile number 2, you're following your intuition, that it's like, hey, I think this other job's kind of calling you, or another position open, or someone's like, hey, are you interested in this job, and like offering you to like, hey, why don't you apply? Like, it'll be great for you. So seeing that light kind of come into you is a lot nicer. I do feel that you're kind of feeling disappointed, because I do think that you might have wanted to stick around a little bit longer, maybe for some of you, when it comes to this position, because it was maybe like a desk job or like an office job that was like, oh, I get to like have a 9 to 5 and it's cool. And maybe with other jobs you had to be more lenient or open to having a more open schedule, or maybe working from home. It's just that scheduling might have been not your preference, and now you're like, well, I have to open that. Like, I have to open my preferences, be more flexible. And now you're going to be able to be a little bit more flexible because you're going to learn to adapt with the changes that your current, no, not your current, but the position that you're trying to apply to is offering. So I do think you're going to learn to adapt to many different situations and people, and it's going to be beneficial with you that you're not stagnant. It feels like it's not a place that you're going to be in a mental rut. It's not going to make you anxious. It's not going to give you like mental stress of like, oh, I have this to do or deal with. Like, it's very much like that. So do keep that in mind. Pile number 2, that this job position that you're going to apply to, it's going to be a very different dynamic. So you're going to learn a lot, but it's going to feel like you're going to be communication, and maybe you're the kind of person that's going to be working in like with what do they call, like telemarketers and stuff like that. So it could be like that, a lot of communicative type of roles, or even just writing, for example. It feels like you're going to be able to be maybe a little bit more on your own, or a lot more easier type of people to deal with when it comes to communicating. So that's for you, pile number 2. Next is pile number 3. You guys have a yes. The Queen of Pentacles is your card, upright. So pile number 3, I think I should have gone faster, but I like this vibe. Pile number 3, this is a yes. When it comes to you and your job transferring, like whether it's the right move, this is a yes. I do think you've had this for a while in the bag. I think you've been planning for this. Maybe someone offered you it, like an older female that you've known for a while, or maybe like a maternal or paternal mother figure, or someone that you've known, like a teacher, for example. It can be like that, where it's like, hey, do you want to take my position, or do you want to apply for this? Like, you're going to work under somebody that's going to be, like, example, a female boss. So it could be like that. Somebody offered you a precious position, but you had to, it wasn't hush-hush, but it feels more like it's a position you've been interested in for a while that finally opened, or it's going to be opening towards your way. So this is a yes for you, the green light. You're going to be having a good time in that way. So let me just take a moment to take a sip of water. So pile number 3. Sorry, I don't want to sound screechy like pile number 2. Okay, pile number 3. I do think it's going to be a positive, more stable job income. I do think it's going to be slow and steady, so maybe you might not see the rewards right away, but I do think it's going to accumulate over time. A lot of the benefits are going to come with the picture, so do keep that in mind, pile number 3, or at least you're going to be able to become someone that's going to be rising up the ranks with a lot of respect. It just feels like for a majority of you, either if you're not a female, you're going to be working with females, that kind of thing. So it's like a lot of feminine energy that's going to be respectable energy, matriarchal energy, so kudos for you. But yes, it's going to be a very precious opportunity. You're going to keep that to yourself for a while, not because you're trying to hide it, but more so because it's like, well, I don't know how it'll come into my life and like adjust itself, but you'll be fine. It's just something that you're going to try to protect. You're very protective when it comes to this because you don't want people to ruin your chances or like sabotage it by trying to get it because they heard it from you, kind of thing. So that's what I have for you. Pile number 4, you guys have the Knight of Swords reverse. So this is a no for your job transfer. This is a no for now, not a no forever. So do keep that in mind. So pile number 4, when it comes to you, I do think that overall for you guys, the reason why it might not be the best time to do a job transfer is likely because you're getting ahead of yourself. I do think you're, what's that? I had it at the tip of my tongue. Bracing yourself. It was basically that you're jumping is it jumping ship? Jumping the line, jumping ship. You're taking decisions too fast when you haven't really looked at the proper paperwork, or you haven't really looked at what's the big picture. I think you're missing the details. You're usually really good at that. You're someone that can take action, think fast, but for some reason you're overlooking certain important things, and that's why it's not working out in this moment. Like, hey, is this really doable for your life right now? Is this something that you really want? Something just because you're capable of something, is it really at your best benefit. So I do think that maybe the reason why it's not working right now is because you still need to look at over some details. Maybe you're in a retrograde and you're like, hey, let's go back and look at the details of this other contract or this other opportunity that could be way much better for you and much more fun and exciting. And I think you want to feel that spark where you're mentally stimulated. So I do think that's why it's a no for now, but not a no for forever. So do keep that in mind. Pile number 4. That's why it's a no for you. So thank you. And next, pile number 5. Pile number 5, you have the no for you as a job transfer. You guys have the 8 of Cups reverse. So the reason why this is a no for right now, not forever, is because you are not, I think you still need some of the, how could I say, you need a little bit more closure when it comes to something that really meant something to you. Like example, you have a nice job that really took you a long time to get because you were emotionally invested in it, but somehow you need to tie up the strings in something, like you're missing something in there that you need to close up. And once you move on from that, you can apply yourself to a different location that could be more beneficial to you. So maybe that's why it's like, you know, you have to take care of that. Take care of your emotional space first, you know. You have some emotional wounds, I feel like, and people are possibly walking over you to some extent. Or maybe, like, if you do apply yourself into this job transfer, that's what you're going to get. It's something that you need to work on because people might try to take advantage of you, like, give you a lot of work, for example, just because you say yes, or just because you're nice, because it's something that, even though you're familiar with the work, that doesn't mean it's okay to do, right? So it's like people should respect you to some extent. Walking away is going to be difficult for you, or it's kind of like you're struggling to walk away from an unfavorable job atmosphere because you're still tied emotionally to something that's a little bit toxic, or you're still like in your same old stuff, same old toxic habits of, like, example, maybe like some of you are not showing up on time all the time, but sometimes you do. It just depends on your mood, or like sometimes people turn your back on you, or they maybe backstab you or talk bad about you. So it's like one of those things where you're like, tie up those loose ends first and then figure out what's really the type of environment you want to settle in, because if you continue to try to transfer to a different job as is, just because you're moving to a different location, it could be the same dynamics kind of thing. So do keep that in mind. Once you have yourself in a little bit more stable environment and learning to walk away from things that are not the best for you, then you can kind of feel that and be like, okay, now I feel like I'm more prepared to jump ship because sorry, my throat. Let me take a sip of water because it's not the time, right? So thank you, pile number 5. Oops. Pile number 6. Sorry, I had to take a sip of water. Pile number 6, you guys have a no. You guys, your card for you guys, it's the 9 of Wands reverse, so this is a no. The reason it's a no for now and a no for never, it's just a momentary no, and sometimes it's favorable, no's, is because I do think that you need to plan a little bit better and take action once you're ready. I don't think you're well prepared. I think you're just like, I think you're in the moment, like it's the spur of the moment. You're taking an action that might, not be for the best benefit in your situation. So do keep that in mind. Pile number 6, it's a no for now because you still need to think things through, because once you see the forest for the trees, or the trees from the forest, you get to basically, I can't say that, that saying is terrible, but you will better analyze the situation a lot clearer. I do think that things are in your way. There's certain obstacles that are still like menial obstacles that you need to deal with before you get to be like, well, is this already a time where I can start thinking about having a job transfer? It does feel like you need to maybe, like, example, work a little bit more to earn, not to earn money, but like to save up just for an emergency in case like this job doesn't, this new job transfer doesn't live up to what it's supposed to, or like you're waiting for that opportunity to take action because you know that you're trying to not have the same challenges as you are right now. So it does feel like you are waiting for the best opportunity to attack, but not right now. It feels like you have to wait. It's the patient game. Yeah, it's the waiting patient game of basically learning to to do that. So it's basically waiting until it's the right call, and not like taking action just willy-nilly, because it was like in the spur of the moment I was upset and I was like, I'm done with this. I keep thinking of the mom from Everybody Hates Chris. I forgot her name, but basically every time she has an issue in her job, she's like, well, I don't need this. I got a man who's got like X amount of jobs, like F this. And she like quits, and her husband's like, ugh. Like he really tries to like not have a meltdown because she's a bit of a hothead. So, you know, maybe you have a bit of a temper. It's like you're trying your best to keep it cool, keep it collected. Don't let people trigger you. Don't let people like get the worst out of you. When you know you can keep it together, but sometimes people just might get you in the wrong moment. It's like just this one day. It's this one day it was not my day, and this person just one more thing, and you just lash out. So it can be one of those situations where like just wait it out, just a little longer, and you'll see your reward. You'll finally see that opportunity to actually change. So remember, pile number 6, that you got this. It's just a matter of waiting a little bit longer for your next move. I think that you need to be aware of those hidden opportunities that could come up into your vicinity. That could be like, what does it say? How does that saying go? Basically, like making it. I can't even think of it, but it was basically, I was trying to say that when you see that opportunity, you seize that opportunity and take it, because it could have been a challenge for somebody else, but it could have been an opportunity for you because you just knew how to handle it. One of those situations. So do keep that in mind. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much. I thought it was going to be quicker. It wasn't. I'm sorry, but I really got into it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Yes or no, pick a card. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you soon. Or you're more than welcome to see a different video if you enjoyed that too. So thank you, and have a great day, everybody. Bye.